Good afternoon to all. My name is Katarina Turković Gulin. I'm coming from Opatija, Croatia, small beautiful place on the coast of Adriatic Sea. I have 46 years and I have 11 IVF procedures behind me. I will go back to the beginning when my husband and I first thought we would need help. We got married in 2004 and we did not plan to have children right away. There seems to be time. When we decided it was time, the pregnancy was by no means able to happen. I will not lie to you. We could and should have tried to find help earlier, much earlier. We both studied. We struggled with resolving the housing issue, waited for permanent or at least safer employment. And all of that delayed the start of our medical treatments. All of this influenced by the opinion of my gynaecologist in primary healthcare, who for years assured us that everything was fine, that we were young, healthy, that there was time. Mistake, big mistake. After years of trying without any results, in 2010 we resolutely set out to seek help. We lost another year in cycle monitoring and targeted intercourse, and when there were no results, we insisted that doctor send us to a human reproduction specialist. The first findings pointed to the problem of male infertility due to testicular retention not treated on time. We both graduated from medical school and were able to understand what was going on, what that diagnosis meant, and what the treatment options were. I think one of the problems that most patients face in their treatments is the inability to understand the words of medical specialists. We have been fortunate to have our medical education help us understand everything that's happening to us and around us. I have had the opportunity to connect with many couples who are going through IVF and provide support through various groups. Many of them are looking for additional information, and it's difficult to understand something so professionally said, all those professional terms and names. This is where the RODA Association has made a big step forward, and it's helping couples with information and guidance in this challenging period of life. We started the treatment in our city, in Rijeka, but already at the first conversation with medical specialists, we learned how unsuccessful the clinic was, how bad the conditions and materials used were, how outdated methods they use. Many methods and procedures that we could read about were not available in Croatia, especially in the field of diagnostics. Something in that field is changing today, but slowly, insufficiently. At that time, the percentage of success of the clinic was barely 3%, so all of this rejected us. We set out to seek help further. I was a full 35 and we knew there was no time for waiting. We were by experts in Netherlands, Slovenia and Italy. In Maribor, we met a top expert who received and treated us in Zagreb. In a private clinic he cooperated. Already in the first procedure, we succeed. The first positive home test, the first positive beta HCG, so much happiness. But it didn't take long. In the 8th week of pregnancy, we lost that battle. So we bravely continued with the assurance of the doctor that all this is a good sign. We will succeed. It's just a question of time. Second stimulated IVF, no result. Third procedure, fourth procedure, no result. Each time we got embryos rated excellent, but no conception. That is when we started asking questions, lots of questions. Unfortunately, diagnostic in Croatia done only at a basic level. The approach to treatment is not individual, but I would say trendy. So everything getting a drug that is popular or easily available at the time. When we exhausted our financial capabilities, we returned to the state clinic and continued treatment at the expense of public care. The limit is by number of procedure, but also by woman age. Upper limit is 42 years, and after that, women have no rights on treatment with support of public insurance. In Croatia, we have right to do 6 IVF procedures, 2 of which must be in the natural cycle. We used 5 procedures at a time, and each time we got fewer and fewer eggs, oocytes, fewer embryos, no conception, until the last 8 procedures in total, when we did not even reach the embryo transfer for the first time. In that period, we try to look for answers. We ask for additional tests. And we find that I had a problem with mutation in thrombophilia, iron deficiency, inability to absorb folic acid, which could affect the success of the procedure. After the last procedure at the state clinic, when we were unable to reach the embryo transfer, the doctor suggested that we go for a donation and recommended private clinic in Prague, Czech Republic. I was entitled to another procedure at the expense of public health insurance, the last one, because I soon turned 42 years old. In Croatia, treatment at expense, just like I said, at the expense of health insurance is limited to a woman's age, and when she turns 42 years, public health no longer finance procedures. We tried another private clinic who has contract with public health insurance, and unfortunately failed. Then we tried in Prague. We experienced what the IVF industry means in the true sense of that word. Without any success, we returned home. In Prague, we actually felt what it looked like when everything goes so fast and without conversation. Indeed, no conversation, no doctor's examination. We did a stimulation in Opatija, home. The therapy was prescribed to us from Prague by email, and the monitoring and folliculometry was done by a gynaecologist in a private clinic in Rijeka. I had 13 follicles that grew nicely and properly. We didn't see the doctor even when we finally arrived in Prague. Moreover, in Prague, I was sent to the operating room without a previous ultrasound. Until then, I had never had a puncture without ultrasound to confirm that follicles were present. However, in Prague, we performed a procedure under anesthesia, and when I woke up, the nurse and the patient coordinator said they were so sorry, but there's there was nothing, yeah. They were kind, sensitive, and sent us home. Still, we didn't want to leave without talking to the doctor. We came to Prague because of that. Yeah. We waited in Prague for, I think, 6 days, and when he finally received us for a meeting, his first question was, okay, what's eye color do you have? What's the color, hair color? I asked, why? I'm sorry, I don't understand. He said he put us on the egg donation list. We have never been against egg donation, and we have thought about it before, but I'm sure that such a decision should have been discussed. We should have been prepared, show some facts, explain something, but it. After that, we rested briefly and then tried again at the private clinic of a doctor who is a pioneer of IVF in this area. We followed the conditions of my body through several cycles. It seems like everything was still working, even though I was approaching 43 at the time. The approach was a bit different, better preparation, better diagnostic, but even then we didn't succeed. That's where we stopped. Yeah, we stopped. It's hard to say what tomorrow will be like, but the experience behind us gives us peace, because we know we tried everything that was in our power. We are aware of that fact. We have accepted that two of us will not have our own biological child. Maybe we will provide some child with a home and family, and it won't matter. That's not our biological child. Even before, that idea was not unacceptable to us. And if Croatia had a better regulated system of child adoption, we would have already done so. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to adopt a child in Croatia, no matter how persistent, situated, educated, capable to be a parent you are. For now, there are only plans. Whether they will be realized and when, I cannot say. So, now it's coming to a big question. Is the IVF industry a blessing or a curse? A little bit of both. From a position somewhere in the middle, I will say that we have dedicated many years of our lives to the mission of how to become parents. We gave up a lot, read a lot, learn a lot. At times, there was almost nothing but that goal: become parents. Other segments of our life were sometimes automated. We did them almost unconsciously, from procedure to procedure. But it's a blessing to know that there are medical procedures that can help treat infertility. It's a blessing to try to do your best to succeed. Blessing is also the experience we have today, the awareness of our strength and perseverance, the awareness of the feelings we have experienced. The curse is that it turns into a long struggle with oneself, with failure, with ignorance, with the social environment, with prejudice, with finances. The curse is that you are willing to invest as long as there is a chance, and there is always chance, a chance you live for.